A service of prayer was held at the site of Nova Festival in southern Israel. It wasn't just the past they were remembering today. Beside the rows of fresh graves at Israel's Mount El's military cemetery, new plots were still being marked out, too recent for a memorial stone, the empty shapes heaped with flowers. Next to them, the vacant space stretched shadowed with the future losses of Israel's ongoing war. The crowd packed around them, some in uniform, some in tears, saluted or bowed their heads as the morning siren sounded to mark Remembrance Day, the price of Israel's previous conflict laid out in the cemetery beneath the pines across the years. Israel's defense ministry says the name of 826 people from the security force were added to the list of the country's fallen this year, along with 834 victims of terrorist attacks, almost all of them from the 7 October Hamas attack and the Gaza war that followed. Faced with the human cost of his current war, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu offered a reminder of why he was asking families to pay it. It's either us, Israel, or them, the monsters of Hamas, he said. It's either existence, liberty, security, and prosperity, or annihilation, massacre, rape, and subjugation we are determined to win. His speech was noticeably less belligerent than usual, his calls to continue until victory toned down, but he again justified the continuation of the war by quoting those paying the highest price. A soldier who had both legs amputated, he said, had urged him to continue until the end. Doron Perez said he had only been half listening to the Prime Minister. His mind had been on his son, Daniel, a tank commander who was killed during 7 October attacks. 2 months ago, the family buried Daniel's bloodied uniform beneath his memorial at Mount Elzi. His body is still being held by Hamas in Gaza. Almost 25,000 soldiers have lost their lives since the establishment of the State of Israel, Doron said. And for me, this particular battle was the most obvious in terms of the need to put our lives on the line. This is not a political issue, this is about the very existence of Israel. It was one of those to be or not to be moments. Despite the support from some families, this Memorial Day is a sensitive moment for Israel's Prime Minister. Beneath the national unity shown for the country's war dead are growing questions and growing divisions about Israel's war aims and the results. Israel's army is currently fighting Hamas in areas of northern and central Gaza that were previously declared clear. 14 Israeli soldiers were reportedly dead last week alone. The deaths of many more Palestinians last week barely figure air. Standing before the grave of his daughter Rebecca, Robert Baruch said there was family still scattered around the cemetery and uncle buried just away killed during Israeli War of Independence in 1948.
Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
I don't know how we will look back on this in 20 years. I hope we will say this was a last terrible phase in something that ended in gold, but at what cost? Without a clear plan for the day after the war and with more than 130 hostages still being held there, Mr. Netanyahu's determination to continue fighting in Gaza is creating growing conflict at home too. On Sunday night, Israel military chief of staff, Lieutenant General Azi Alivi said he felt the weight of the Hamas attacks on his shoulders every day. I am responsible for answering the poignant question that drives sleep from your eyes, he told bereaved families. Israel's prime minister, by contrast, has been full of praise for his false sense of responsibility and most silent on his own. But his focus on fallen heroes does not address the accusations against him that it was on his watch that Hamas grew strong enough to launch last October's attack, on his watch that Israel's intelligence failed, and that his choice to continue the conflict now is rested in his political survival. Benjamin Netanyahu is facing a military war in Gaza and a growing political war at home.